Welcome into the View from C-Deck. It's me, just Matt, flying solo tonight as both the Direwolf and the Haas are indisposed. Direwolf down with some more flu in the holiday season, and the Haas gallivanting around the Pacific Northwest right now with his brother. But I hope those boys are getting ready for the Buckeyes on Friday night. Getting ready to play Missouri in the Cotton Bowl, a game that doesn't have a whole lot of hype, at least not here in Buckeye land from what I've seen, but we're going to go ahead and preview it anyway. And I'm excited to see. I'm always excited for every game because you never know what you're going to see. Even we have these younger guys coming into play this game. Not all of us, although a lot more guys for Ohio State actually going to play in this game than were previously thought. A lot more guys probably coming back. We'll talk about that more on a future podcast about next season. But excited to see what we have in store. And I guess we have to start right away with Devin Brown taking over at quarterback for Kyle McCord, who's transferred to Syracuse now. And it's going to be interesting to see what Devin can do. This is kind of his tryout, I think, for next year. If it sounds like he's going to get the bulk of the reps. I'd like to see Lincoln Kienholz play some quarterback, but it sounds like it's not going to happen. It's not like day to rotate quarterbacks, really, even when he says he's going to, like with Mr. Devin Brown here, with McCord earlier in the year. But so Devin Brown taking over from McCord. I wasn't too thrilled with what I saw from him when he did play this year against Youngstown State and Indiana mainly. But he was also a little bit neutered by Day, I think, within the playbook. He looked better in his limited role as a red zone read option quarterback later in the year until he got injured because he was running really hard, showed some athleticism. The athleticism they had talked about in the preseason that we did not see, though, against Indiana and against Youngstown State. Like, he did not look like this mobile, maybe J.T. Barrett-esque quarterback. We didn't see that. And I think this is a big game for him to prove that that's what he can be the guy that can run and pass. You know, we've heard all along he can make big plays because he can extend the play. I want to see 2 or 3 of those happen in this game. But we'll see if he can. If he actually does have that athleticism. Missouri's defense is nothing to sneeze at. They're like around like the 40-ish range. But they had all SEC players at each level. They don't anymore, as their linebacker's going to be out. Most likely that was Hopper, who was in there for the Buckus Award. It was a Buckus finalist and second team All SEC. He won't be playing most likely, from what they say. Neither will one of their starting corners, but their first team All SEC corner will be there, Abrams Dane, and their first team All SEC defensive end will be there. And both of those guys, they're going to affect the passing game more. So see what Devin Brown can do when he's under a little pressure, when he's throwing against a top flight kind of cornerback. We'll have to see. I'm hoping he does well for next year's sake, because it looks like we're not going to bring in any transfer portal guys. But if it's not going to be him, I'd like to see Lincoln Kienholz get some run and see what he can do with his athleticism as well. Other than that, only Marv looks like he's going to be sitting out, which, maybe not. But like I said in the previous podcast, if Marv tries to play, I'm driving down to Dallas and I'm yanking him out of the game myself. Go get paid, my man. You don't have anything else to prove here to the Buckeyes, to anybody in college football. And I wish you good luck in the NFL. But I'm ready to see the young guys. Ibuka is going to play at receiver. So that could be a good thing for Devin Brown, I guess. A good safety valve. He does have a lot to prove, and I think he should play to try to improve his draft status. I'm not sure if he's going to go pro or not. From the whispers in the wind say no. Say Marv's the only one really leaving from this offense besides Matt Jones. And obviously Cade Stover's run out of eligibility as well. But I'm interested to see what Carnell Tate has, as he should be starting for Marv. I want to see Brandon Ennis get in the game more, see what kind of, I think he could be a huge part in winning this game if Ohio State is to win. He's got game-breaking speed, something we haven't seen really from any of our receivers since McLaurin and Paris Campbell were running around with Dwayne Haskins in 2018. It's been more traditional type receivers that are good route runners, good catchers, and Olave was decent after the catch. Garrett Wilson, decent after the catch. Igbuka's decent after the catch, but they're not pure speed guys who are just going to run away from everybody. Blow up the angle speed, as I call it. But so I'm interested to see what we can look like with that. Stover should have a good game, I think, at tight end. Our O-line versus their D-line. Let's see what our tackles can do against this is probably their best pass rusher they've played besides Chop Robinson, who didn't even have that great of a year really for Penn State. So it'll be interesting to see how they can hold up. How Simmons, the lines had its ups and downs all year. Let's see if they can harness that energy they had for the drive against Michigan in the second half, where they just ran it down their throat. Because if we should be able to out-physical overall the front seven of Missouri. That's where our game should lie. We'll see if it remains to be seen if we can do it, though. But I think we can. But yeah, the Devin Brown and the young wide receivers are what I'm most excited to see, and see if this O-line, we only lose Matt Jones, so let's see if we get a good preview of next year. And if Travion's coming back, he could definitely win this game for us if we put on his back and the O-line's back with Devin Brown at quarterback. It could be helpful as well with the running threat. That's my big thing. You need a running quarterback back there in the shotgun if you're going to run out shotgun every time. Well, let's see what the running game can do for the first time since Fields was here, that we have somebody back there that's a legit running threat, and the other team knows that he's a legit running threat and has to game plan it. Flipping over the defensive side of the ball, obviously the Buckeyes had a great run all year and then had a very mediocre to below average showing against Michigan again. We'll see if what happened last year, where the issues that it's kind of similar but not the same, but similar to 2022 season, where the things that would hurt them during the regular season, but not that much because they still had great stats overall. And that was the big play last year, came to be what totally bit them in the ass against Michigan, and then bit them in the ass again in the national or in the college football playoff against Georgia. This year you have the fact that they're very conservative, and it hurt them in the second half against Michigan. They played too conservative, and Michigan was able to drive down and score all 4 times, even if they held them to 3 field goals. The end of the game, you needed a fast stop, and they couldn't get it because they weren't playing aggressive enough. Missouri's got a great running back in Schrader. Great running back. Almost 1,500 yards. Works his butt off. 6-year senior, I believe. So he's like 24 years old. So he's a grown man out there playing. If we play too soft, he can hit us. 4 yards, 3 yards, first down. 4 yards, 2 yards, 1 yard, 3 yards, first down. Go for it on fourth down, because I expect Missouri to throw everything they have at us. Their quarterback is pretty good. Very similar numbers to McCord, like eerily similar numbers to McCord overall as a passer, but he brings a running threat that McCord doesn't have. He's a great runner. He ran for about 300 yards this year, but he did have 8 touchdown runs, so he's capable. We can't just sit back and expect him not to run ever. And plus, with the tailback they have, that's tough. Luther Burden III at receiver, obviously a 5-star recruit. I believe the number 1 receiver in his class coming out, and he looks like he's living up to the billing right now through his sophomore year. Had almost 1,200 yards and 8 touchdowns, catches. They have Mookie Cooper, was an Ohio State recruit, a Brian Hartline guy over there too, and Theo Weiss. All these guys are highly recruited, top 100 overall receivers. They're talented offense. Their O-line has a one All-SEC player. They're not amazing, but they only gave up 20 sacks. And with a mobile quarterback, that helps out. But only 20 sacks all year. They ran the ball well. This is a legit offense that we're playing. Probably the best offense we've played all year, besides perhaps Michigan. And they may be better than Michigan, really, when you think about especially the talent at wide receiver. So, big test. Where's the Buckeyes the whole year, the real Buckeyes? Or where the Buckeyes that we saw against Michigan, just like last year, what we're actually going to see in a big-time bowl game environment? Nobody's sitting out, at least draft-wise, for Ohio State. Now, Eichenberg might not be playing, and Mike Hall is allegedly going to be gone, but I think everybody's playing. Burke's playing. All the safety, Ransom will still be out with his injury, but all the safeties are going to be playing. All the D-line, JT, Sawyer, Tyleek Williams, all going to be playing. So everybody's trying to improve the draft status, so everybody should be coming and bringing their A-game. It sounds like overall Ohio State's going to bring the A-game that I didn't think we were going to see, frankly, at the end of the year, especially when you started thinking about guys that were draft eligible. But now, all the whispers in the wind, all the rumor mills are saying that almost everybody's coming back besides Marv and maybe Mike Hall at the moment. That's what Alex Gleitman said the other day. So this is a big jumping point. And if Eichenberg is out, which I wouldn't be horrified to see with the way he was playing once he got injured, he was not very good. not very effective. Cody Simon, I would assume, starts for him and plays most of the snaps, but I'd like to see Jordan Hicks get in there and maybe slide Sonny Styles down into the box a little more. We got dudes. There that are ready to step up, and it's going to be a tough battle all day because you're going to be chasing around that tailback all damn day. Lastly, though, before I get to my pick, we have to talk about special teams. Parker Fleming, you're still around, huh? Even though we lost your only recruit that you recruited. You didn't. But that you recruited, and Justin Scott. So, yeah, definitely a deficit. They have an all-SEC kicker, I believe second-team all-SEC kicker for Missouri. So, huge advantage in the kicking game for them. Obviously, our punting game has been miserable down in like the 90s for the season in net punting. Every Buckeye fan knows we don't have a return game, so I wouldn't expect any big plays to be made in those areas for us. So just hopefully we're sitting there, hopefully not losing the game because of special teams, but we're definitely not going to win the game because of special teams. And I would say Missouri has a chance if they can get, if this comes down to a last-minute drive. I have much more faith in their kicker than ours, but we'll have to see what happens. Hopefully it doesn't come down to that and we're able to out-physical them, which gets us to our picks, though. Getting to the line, it's -3 now, back to -3. It's been up, it's been down. When McCord left, we became underdogs, Ohio State. We were 6.5-point favorites, I believe, to open. Got down to -1.5 for Missouri. Now we're back to being 3-point favorites on Caesars, at least. I would lean towards Ohio State winning, just the way we seem to be preparing and the overall talent on the roster, but I don't feel confident in that at all. Days Bowl record, 2-3. It's not bad. But this is a game, it's a big coaching moment for him. Because if he does bring this team and they bring an A game, it'll have a lot of faith. I will have a lot of faith in what's going to be going on into the future, into next year. But if they come out and lay a turd, the Cooper talks start coming more and more and more. Can't beat Michigan, can't win the bowl game. Can't beat Michigan, can't win the bowl game. Obviously, Ohio State's 2-12 against SEC teams in bowl games. Overall, I don't know if that's counting that Arkansas game or not from 2010, but it happened. We beat their ass. Also, obviously, beat Alabama in 2014. I like our chances because we have the overall talent advantage. Our defense should be a little bit better than theirs and is one of the best, besides Georgia, the best defense they've played all year. Now, Missouri, having played Georgia in Athens, is a huge momentum, or not momentum, I guess confidence builder for them. They played them toe-to-toe most of that game, so they shouldn't be overwhelmed by our athleticism or size or speed or anything like that. But I just think, when it comes down to it, sometimes the Jimmies and the Joes matter too much, and I think we have too much even without. If McCord wasn't the answer, which nobody seems to think he was, then losing him shouldn't kill us that bad. Now, obviously, losing Marv is massive. But everybody else coming back, and the injuries on the defensive side of the ball for Missouri, especially their linebacker being out, could be huge, as he's kind of a heart and soul type guy. So I'm just excited to see, though. It's Buckeye football one last time. Go watch them. Go support them. I'm taking the Buckeyes. I'll take them 27-24, over-unders 48.5. So that's a push. I'll take the push. But the over for the points, because I do think they'll put some points up on us with that high-powered offense. But should be a great game, and just want to thank everybody for watching us all season. We'll have plenty of off-season stuff, though. We'll recap this game, preview next season, talk maybe a little more about the recruiting class. But I'm just Matt, and for our guys, the Haas and Direwolf, thanks for watching, and we will see you guys next time.
Hey, guys. Whoa, big gulps, huh? All right. Well, see you later.
A rich man's world.